Okay, so you guys asked for it, and me and Brit are bringing it to you. So, Brittany, we're trying to get people ready for 2025. And so we're going to break this up into a two-part series because I know y'all have a short attention span. I know I do. So, Brittany, we want to share what people need to be looking towards in 2025 for their career goals, how to go ahead and make it happen for them, So go ahead, cousin.
All right. So when you asked me to come on here, I thought about what is it that I could share truthfully, honestly, because I came on for the first time and I had some of those practical tips as far as what they could do. But
Mm-hmm.
just for context, like for the past year, I've actually have been off social media, just heads down, focusing on stuff. And so I was like, when you asked me to come on, I was like, I can give these tips. But a part of the lesson that I've learned in this past year is about being in flow and being in alignment and the spiritual aspect of working towards my goals. And so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
are they okay with that? Can we talk about it? Like, what are we thinking? What are we feeling?
Yeah.
Kristen said,
And
go
I told
ahead.
you that I told you yes, because I'm surprised. You know what? I need to light my incense, but go ahead.
And
Yeah.
that's what you told me. You said, go ahead. So I said, let's do it. So I
Mm-hmm.
thought about this and I said, let me see how I can, because I can get to talking real good. And so I said, let me think about this and give it back to the guys, the people in a way that can be understood, but give you some steps that you need to follow. So the people of Boss Up, are y'all ready? We're ready. Okay.
Yep.
The
Pride.
first
Listen up.
thing, okay, we like to say we get ready, we getting our minds right for this. Okay. So then I thought about it, and I feel like when you're stepping into understanding, like, I really want to make a change, I got to get out of this environment that I've been in. What can I do? I think sometimes people jump to looking at the jobs, but I think that there is some work that we need to do for ourselves first off to anchor into that. So the first step is to sit and do a reflection exercise. So you know that you're already somewhere, and you know there are things about where you are that you don't love. So sit
Mm-hmm.
with yourself and understand what it is that you don't like. What would you want to be different? What are the environments that you're seeking? What can it be? Because like those things, as far as knowing and aligning on what your desires and your needs are going to be your anchor as you go all the way throughout this process. So that's number one. You got to sit and do some work. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And so then after you work and you align, you understand everything that it is that you are looking for, you have to prepare. And so this is where it comes into some of those practical tips that we talk about. So, updating your resume, getting the experience that you need, going on the job board, seeing what the job titles are that look like what you're trying to accomplish. What are the gaps in where you are and where you want to be? But also
So when you
remembering,
say so cousin, when you say job boards, where do they need to go for the job boards?
so the what places that I go to, and I think I mentioned it, is like I've done LinkedIn, but the people gave a good tip that your employers can see about that. But see, I kind of come back
Mhm.
into what I'm gonna talk about because there's some trusting in it. So I feel like I do look at LinkedIn. I feel like those are very, very connected, very updated.
Mhm.
I look at Indeed. I've been on ZipRecruiter. If I have specific companies in mind, I'll even go to their websites and sign up for their like newsletters and job posting updates as they come through. So just keep in mind, your pulse on there to see like what's out there. What are some of the, departments that you could be working in, the products that you could be working on, things like that. And that's a part of the work that you're doing, right? So you know kind of what you want to do. Do you want to work remotely? Do you want to work in this city? Do you want to work for this department? Are you trying to do product management? Are you trying to do sales? Like understanding those things and what about what it is that you want to do, the why of it. Like, what is it that I'm looking to accomplish as I'm going out into the job market?
Okay, cool, cool. And the other tip I have to add and piggyback off of that is I literally because Jordan, your cousin, my
Mhm.
daughter, she was just, she's about to graduate from school. And so I was telling her to actually go into the Google search bar and type in Google jobs and whatever job you're looking for. And so many jobs pop up.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
just make sure you guys research those jobs. We've done videos before where we've said like, hey, you want to make sure that you're not jumping out of the fire pan into the fire. So
Yeah.
you want to research these companies like
Yes.
they're interviewing you.
Let's go because
So
we get into it. And one other
yes.
tip for the job search is Like for me, I'm a human factors engineer, but if I type in human factors, it'll bring up human resources sometimes. So I use
Mm,
quotations around human and factors, and that'll bring specifically like that particular title that I'm looking for. So if you have a certain title, use the quotations for the exact term that you want, but also don't lock yourself in, because I could put like staff human factors engineer, and then I may be blocking myself out of some positions. But if I put in human factors, it'll bring in all of the different types of human factors engineering jobs. So use the quotations to drive down the results and get more specific. So that's one tip that I do have.
gotcha.
Okay.
Did y'all take notes on that?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you've done your preparation and you have updated your resume. You've got your certifications going. Um, but the next part of it is, do you feel like you have to align, number one? And so in that alignment, you're making sure that you're on your right path. Like you're not forcing anything. You're just kind of going with the flow. That doesn't mean sitting idle. That doesn't mean not doing anything.
Mhm.
But you do the work that you could do in that moment, because you can't make things happen. You have to control what you can control in your environment, present your best self forward, and go forth with that. Part of it, though, is the confidence aspect.
That
So,
part.
okay, when the opportunities come to you, do you believe that you actually deserve what it is that you want? Or do you not? And then when it shows itself to you, you're like, dang, I can't, like, I don't know. I don't know if I could do this.
Did y'all get that? I mean, because I think people don't realize that it is the confidence aspect. And just like a shark, if you're in water and you're bleeding, people can see the blood, right? So if you're coming out of if you're on a low vibration, or if you're like coming from an aspect of desperation, people can feel that and they see that,
Yeah.
you know. So you have to come through like, look, you know what? If this goes through, this goes through. If it doesn't, you know, it's not in alignment. And I tell you guys this all the time on the videos about from your attorneys, when you're reaching out to attorneys and you're saying, oh, well, they're not getting back to me. No, you keep on calling and calling until you get the right attorney. Same thing with the job. You don't want to leave one job that you can't stand and go to another job and you're like, oh my God, I should have stayed where I was.
Mhm.
So that's the whole thing about being in
Mhm.
alignment. And we can create our world from the thoughts that we think, the things that we say about each other and ourselves.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
And
So,
believing
like,
that you deserve that world that you're going to create.
yes,
It,
exactly.
that's it. And the thing is too, because then when you come back into it, it's like, dang, like what, how do I deserve this? Like, why do I deserve this? If you're challenging yourself in that, what you could do is go through and look at the work that you've done and
Hmm.
document the things that you've accomplished for your organization that have shown tangible, quantifiable strides. And guess what that's going to do for you? You take that back into your resume and you update your resume with that information. And then you've already done that work too. So now you have the story to tell when you get that interview, because you know what you've done and you know why you deserve it.
Exactly. And it's a part of, so when we get back to the whole alignment, shadow work type thing, because I had to do the same thing. Brittany had to do the same thing.
Mhm,
And it's you finding your strengths within yourself.
mhm,
Toot your own horn. Have that list, like she said, to let
mhm.
people know what you're great at. And
Yeah,
once you know what you're great at, you know what it is that you want to be a part of, what organizations, you know, who deserves your talent, and that gives you that boosts your talent.
yeah.
So, yep,
Kristen gets it. She gets it. That's it.
yes, absolutely.
All right. Are we gonna keep it growing? We're gonna give them part two. We're gonna make them
I
come
guess
back.
we can, you know what? Should we tease them? Should we have them come back for part two?
I think they need to come back. I think
We
they need to come back.
Y'all need to come back. All right. So we're gonna come back with another. No, this is gonna be our part three because we already did part one. And if y'all missed part one, y'all need to check it
Oh,
out.
you're right.
Yeah, y'all need to check out part one, and then this is part two, and we're gonna come back with a part three. So
All
talk to you
right.
guys later. Love you.
Bye 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 bye.
Bye.